Come on! Okay, that doesn't do it. Wait, what? What? We'll start with this. Rowan, Scion of War, 3 mana 4/2, Menace. I don't really know why it has Menace, but it has Menace. Uh, you tap it and discount all your black and red spells by the amount of life you've lost. It's only a sorcery, so you can't Toxic Deluge for 10 and then tap it, because it would die first. If you Toxic Deluge, then cast this, then give it haste, then you can do it for 10, but that's a lot of mana, and then you don't have a lot of lands left to actually cast spells. So, storming is kind of difficult, but black has the benefit of a bunch of tutors, and if they're all really... If you push every spell to its mana pips and remove all generic mana costs, it's a lot easier to storm off, right? It does not discount colorless cards. There is one card that seems very good, unfortunately. What does it take? Shoot, what is it? You steal your opponent's turn? Yeah, Worst Fears. You can discount this card and just Emrakul your opponent, except they don't get an extra turn after, so it's like Mindslaver. Probably really good. I just don't own it. I'm not going to craft it for this deck. But this is absolutely good. Unfortunately good. So good that I regret playing this commander right now because I don't own that card, but it is what it is. I'm stockpiling for the Final Fantasy set. My mind is dead set on that, so I'm not going to craft that. But that would be a really good card. Outside of that specific card, there's still Peer the Abyss targeting your opponent. You can also target yourself. You have Shieldred. Shieldred is extremely good here, especially if we pay a bunch of life, and then we continue to pay life for some of our cards after, which is a bit miserable, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Treasure tokens are phenomenal. A Goldspan Dragon costing 2 mana will probably net mana if I had any treasures before I put it into play. So that's nice. Bedlam Reveler seems good to gas back up. It's probably extremely cheap a lot of the time. I don't have a lot of confidence about Grape Shot. I've never killed anyone with Grape Shot. I have cast it. I have never cast Tendrils of Agony in Magic Arena before. I don't imagine I'm going to kill someone with this, but you never know. The X spells like Banefire, Crackle with Power, Torment of Hailfire are all pretty decent. I don't think I'm running Banefire, though. No, just Crackle with Power and the other one. Where's Crackle? Where are you? Where are you, Crackle? Yeah, this. I don't know. Underworld Breach seems really good. Bolas' Citadel will pay life after I've already tapped this, and we don't want to ever do that, but it's probably fine, especially if everything is highly discounted off the top. I might not be losing a ton of life, but I'm not totally sold on this one. Could be wrong about that. Necropotence is a way to just set your discount to whatever you want it to, right? And then you just do it for, what, a maximum of 4 or 5? Really don't have to lose that much life in this deck. I'm losing my voice. I've already lost my voice. It's already gone. 2 seconds in the stream. You don't have to discount that much to push every card in the deck to its max. So it isn't too difficult. I might even have too much life loss in here. But yeah, it's kind of hard to find the lines, I feel, but this could be interesting. If this dies over and over, then, I mean, it is what it is. We just have to find games where it just doesn't die over and over. I'm not even sure if I like Swiftfoot Boots. It just seems like a lost cause, but I might as well try. And yep, alright, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with all this blueberry vodka in my system. Oh, we got the perfect quest. I didn't even see this. Did I re-roll that? Oh, I did re-roll it too. Every time I re-roll my quest, it's like an autopilot thing. If I don't see 750, I just click re-roll. Sign of Blood's already in here. I do not have the Surveil land in here. I don't want to fetch unless I absolutely have to, but it looks like I'm going to have to anyways, so I should probably fetch. I will not get Blood Crypt, though. My opponent didn't do anything. Oh, okay, I guess I am getting Blood Crypt. Opponent didn't do anything, so not able to cast Rowan. Hardly a surprise. I expect the worst, most offensive thing with this deck is resolving my commander. I think that's going to be maybe nigh impossible. Alright, let's get rid of that, and could probably get rid of Crick here, because my hand looks not Crick worthy. Let's see if they let me swing. They do! Wow. I will feed the Swarm this, I think. I don't have to play my commander anymore. Big score is an instant. I could just leave that up. I will. My opponent doing nothing this long is insane. I mean, to be fair, they have no green mana in a deck that, like, needs green mana, so... Green is the strongest color, right? It's rather surprising they kept a hand without any green mana. It's quite interesting. Must have kept it on the basis of a ton of removal. So I can tutor up a... No, we don't have to worry about it tutoring anything, because we can just do this. We also have Reanimate Gristlebrand. We could have just done that. But, oh, I think I'm fine. Opponent has to dedicate removal here. I don't even have a way to lose life. My commander probably isn't even scary. Oh, yes I do. Yes I do, excuse me. Alright, so there was the painfully blatant obvious removal spell, which probably justified the entire hand being kept. Because again, it had no green mana in it. But at this point, we can probably just play... I could play Rowan again. Grenzo is hilarious. Yeah. Why not? Path to Exile. What would I Path to Exile, though? Could give my commander Riot. Does that matter? Alright, well, this encapsulates what I expect to happen for the rest of this stream, is this dies and I don't get to use it, but Rowan turn 2. Mainly so I don't... Wow, they didn't cast Gretchen? What are you doing? Well, I mean, now I'm just gonna make things annoying. Yeah, now I'm just gonna do this. Alright, you, yep, you got it. Alright, we have problems here. Yep, I guess that's just game. I mean... No, they didn't have it. I will try to move. I can't activate it now anyways, but... I can swing with it, and they're not going to trade with Lair of the Hydra. That would be a bit insane, so... I can't believe that just worked. I don't have a way to lose life, though. Okay, well, I'm not going to lie, I can't believe that. That seems insane. So I kill Gretchen. Did not expect that. Maybe I should have? I guess I should have. I don't know, we're creeping towards Bolus's Citadel, I guess. Yeah, if you think about Grenzo too long, they concede, you know. Alright, let's play this here. That doesn't even do anything, I could just recast it. I feel like that just makes my choice for me. I found a way to lose life, but... Is that better than just playing a land? I feel like I should just play the land, honestly. Okay, that's not terribly useful. Bolus's Citadel is scary. Did you top deck a counterspell? You did not. So you have 1, 2, 3 on discount. This has been a very, very, very strange game. I will cast this for 4. Let's kill Gretchen, or probably the thing drawing cards. Yeah, we'll kill this. I don't like that. Okay, so now we can activate this. But I don't have any mana left to actually do stuff. Subject to change. Subject to change. That is one of the better cards I could have found, but... Okay, this doesn't work the way I thought it did. It doesn't work the way I want it to. Yeah, Bolus's Citadel doesn't accept the discounts. Guess I'll swing with Ragavan. It's fine. I can Tendrils for... not lethal, but I can Tendrils for an amount that makes me not die. I don't have 10 permanents, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, that was very impressive. Putting this on Shieldred's probably the best thing. I don't even care about my commander. Alright. Gretchen doesn't like to draw. We have a very scary card. Malcolm draws as well. They're under 10, so Bolus's Citadel is lethal. We almost have a completely lethal attack as well. I feel like the beginning of this game has been kind of nuts. Alright, they removed Shieldred. And we also lost our thing. Bedlam Reveler. That's useless. I think searching my library for a card is this just a safe bet here. So if I swing all out, suppose I could lead with a swing all out. They're losing the Tidebinder. And we just find Lightning Bolt and win? Unbelievable. Oh, I did it again. I clicked the wrong way. I was trying to say good game. What the heck is Blex? Pests, bats, insects, snakes get +1/+1. Oh, and spiders. When it dies, you gain 4 life. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Search for Blex. Look at the top 5. Put any number of them in your hand. Okay, well, I'd like that card. I would like to have played that one. We will assume we're not going to draw a land and play this tapped this turn. Could play Black Market next turn. I have no idea what's going on, so I'm going to play Rowan. This looks like some kind of storm deck. Four mana, draw 5, lose 15. Let's untap the red. Okay. So we can go next turn if they don't interact with us. This person is like a Blex pro because they're running new cards. This isn't like an old deck. I'm excited, actually. I like what I'm seeing here. This is really cool. I have no idea what Healer of the Glade is doing in here. This is nuts. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Alright, so... bloop, bloop, bloop. Tap this for 6. And then we do stuff. So I don't need to play that. I can play this, get rid of land. Can play Grenzo. Beseech the Mirror, right? Although this is actually pretty good too. This actually is pretty good here. Do I need Beseech the Mirror? I should probably take Beseech the Mirror, completely honest with you. Let's play this. Get rid of that. Okay. This costs 1. I could get Shieldred. I could get... Alright, cool. Alright, well... Speaking of Delighted Halfling, it's my turn. That is actually really good. That is a really good card here. I think I actually will play that. That is an excellent amount of mana. I will take that for sure. Turn my Dark Ritual into a permanent. Needs more cut down? Yep. That's also fine. Okay. I feel like my opponent's expecting me to cast my commander, and I'm not going to. I'm going to make this difficult. This is a 2/7. Never seen this, by the way. I didn't even read it. Okay. Okay, I will draw. I think now it's probably safe to cast it, because I don't lose if it gets countered. Does not get countered. Decline, and let's play nothing. I think I should draw here. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Could play this, honestly. I don't know what it's finding. Shieldred's interesting. Grenzo's interesting. Dragon is interesting. Let's get Shieldred. That feels like it helps me the most in this exact spot. So the Atali trigger their spells? Okay. Can't say I'm too concerned with that. Apparently I had no reason to be concerned. Okay. It's a 2/7. Let's pay 4 to draw a card. Do we go for it now? Oh wait, we can crack this first. There's like 1 or 2 cards that make me want a Blood Moon here. And I don't think I want a Blood Moon because I'm at a low life total, so. Alright, we're all in. Let's Storm count is currently 0. So 1, 2, black, red, 2, Brass's Bounty is castable, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 'This is hard. This is hard. I don't think the final parting was right. I bargained for no reason. 8. Oh, I miscounted too. I miscounted. But we got there. We did it. We did it. Awesome. I did it before I even saw the rope too. Excellent. We did it. We actually did it. That was pretty cool. That was fun. I like that. Alright, this is a really cool deck. Could have played Shieldred there, honestly. Beginning of your end step. Okay, so they let me untap with my commander and didn't cast anything. A little bit insane, but we'll take it. So we're at 3, 4, 5. Black. 5. Is 5 enough, chat? I believe it is. Bloop. Okay, a little too late for that to do anything. Kind of surprised they even bother. You should not... No, you shouldn't do this now. You should wait. It's no longer relevant. Should just not activate here until later. Alright, so... Shieldred. I'm not playing Bolus's Citadel. We're playing this. We're getting rid of Bolus's Citadel. The rest of this is actually castable. Although Black Market is too late. It's just too late here. Can tutor again? Casualty 3? No, can't casualty. Can final parting for Gristlebrand... Oh, we can final farting... final farting, chat. Yes, final farting. We can finally fart for Gristlebrand. Look at that. Cool. We actually have not done this yet. Alright. To be honest, they did have a removal spell. It was just one that happened at the worst possible time. They really shouldn't do this. I could have some kind of lethal threat. You don't know what's possible here. And just wait until I swing at you. Like if I gave this haste, you would want to leave this ability up because killing this at this point is irrelevant. Alright, look at that. Opponent couldn't handle it. Literally couldn't handle the heat. Shambles. Wait till you give her haste? So it's only good if I give it haste and have her protection spell aura on top of it and my opponent has removal. That... I mean, we could play Jenga. I like Jenga too. Jenga's very fun. I also enjoy Jenga. Yeah, if you're on mobile, you're kind of screwed. You're always going to give priority if you're on mobile. You can't, like, shift-enter or whatever. Alright, so we untapped with our commander for the first time in 2 hours. That's cool. Let's go ahead and use that situation to our fullest. If I cast this, it discounts everything else by an additional... it's hard to tell if this is right first. I'm going to go ahead and say it's not. Let's go ahead and just do this now. So Shieldred. This thing. Feed the Swarm is not particularly effective. Let's just replace those. Okay, I didn't find anything interesting. I have 1 mana left. Discount at 3. I cannot cast Grenzo. Actually can't really do anything. I could get Stormkill Artist, but then I'm out of gas. This might be a one-ring situation. Cast it next turn. I feel like that makes perfect sense. And if it doesn't, well, it's not my fault. Why not play other commanders that are worth playing? That's what other content creators are for. We're here to suffer. Okay, well, got nothing to actually discount. Let's see if I can't find something. Let's go ahead and not crack that treasure. Alright, didn't find anything. This has menace. I'm not swinging with it. Opponent has hexproof, so no grape shot tendrils. Hopefully no big deal. But I need cards. Rowan's brother? I've tried that one. It is way, way worse than Rowan. But it kind of does stuff, but not really. I kind of have enough mana where I don't need Rowan anymore. If by worse you mean better, well, you have to play life gain cards, and those are really bad, so it's not really great. But you have access to mana drain, so if that offsets it, then congratulations. I'm inclined to agree with you. Blood Crypt's in play, so both these only lose 1. I think I'm just going to discount for 2. They still have hexproof. Interesting that they put this here. They value hexproof quite highly for the face. And there's only 2 cards in my deck that care about that, so I'm not terribly concerned. Yeah, I'll swing. Alright. The One Ring does keep proccing discount for us. They have to deal with Shieldred. My commander isn't even the problem anymore. Choose any number of creatures of power 4 or less. So, Shieldred? I've never seen that card before. Alright. I've never seen this. Wow. I didn't know it existed. Fortunately, Rowan wasn't look like it was doing much. I will swing. They actually blocked it. Alright, so they no longer have hexproof. There is no shuffle. I can Lightning Bolt face. Not accomplishing much. Oh wait, Bolus's Citadel is basically lethal here. Okay. Tendrils. Oh, perfect. Oh, also perfect. That actually steals my opponent's Delny, but is post-combat. Not terribly useful. Yeah, we can just cast that. It shuffles again as well. Alright, they're just done. Yeah, Bolus's Citadel is just gonna... Not supposed to help other people. They're on the play. Tragic. There is an incredibly low chance I ever untap with my commander. Very, very, very small chance. Probably have to leave up Malakir Rebirth. There's a very good chance that is the case. They actually didn't have a Mana Rock on 2. Davriel just kills my commander at this point, so it's pretty straightforward. Let's play this tapped. I do not have a double black. I can't protect my commander. It should take the one ring here. No, you should take the one ring. We're not going to rely on our commander. That's what this was telling us. Can't play it. It's not a Rowan game. I guess Cavern is fine, yeah. It's the second black. This might be one of the worst cards to play here, because I lose 2 life. Probably one of the worst cards they could have played. I can discount further, but I'm not sure where that gets us, but I will do it anyways. Because it's basically the only turn I get to use Rowan, might as well. So, Mount Doom. We've cast 1 spell, they're at 23. I can tutor up. I don't have the time to think how to find lethal. Pretty sure it starts with a treasure card. Brass's Bounty would be nice, but what about Stormkiln Artist? No, I want one of these. So we cast that. Two. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh yeah, there's no reason counting anymore. Ugh. I can't. Not only did Rowan actually do something, I can't. Oh, wow. That's funny. They thought like Chandelar was the OG magic thing. Save it for the next victory. 15 golden WoW. I don't know. That's a tall ask. We can Thoughtseize next turn, but I want to hit a 1-drop, actually. Let's just Thoughtseize now. Alright, take the card that's castable. My opponent kept a very, very slow hand, but that is Madrotha's modus operandum. Madrotha's a girl. I don't know about you guys, but wood. Bloop. We only have a discount of 1. I could have made it a 2, but I didn't. That is interesting. Alright, yeah, it looks like it's only going to be a discount of 1 here. Kind of tragic. I don't believe there's anything I could do except randomly hit higher, so I guess we're just going to go in on a single discount and see what happens. What does that do? Don't care. Let's get rid of Polluted Delta. This does threaten my opponent to a degree in which might be worthy of responding. Destroy target land. Its opponent may search for a basic. Alright, pass. At this point, I might be safe. Usually we only need 1 turn with our commander. And that might just be what we've just done. They can discard my Crystal Brand, which I really don't care about. I wouldn't be upset if that's the only thing they did. There's a chance that is the case. But I don't think I need Rowan anymore. Okay, we're going right into 6. It can't be Muldrotha, though. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. Could search for a 1-mana removal spell. They do. Alright. Fatal Push looks like the case. That feels like a very low power Gristlebrand. I mean, it's the same as Fatal Push. They didn't get Fatal Push, but it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 can cast Gristlebrand. I see no reason not to. Multani's daughter, yep. Breach the Multiverse is interesting. I don't know if it's good enough here. Probably not. Should probably still cast it, though. I think. Methinks. But I don't have a Rowan discount. Hopefully no big deal. Nothing exciting, so I'll just take that. And obviously take that. Pick up Dark Ritual, Lightning Bolt. I'm not sure. Randomly plus. No, we just spin the... We spin that again. Discard 3 cards. You, and you. Okay. Dead to removal. Not dead to Tasha minus. Don't think this kills me. Nope. This does not kill me. So we get to spin the wheel again, unless there is something that does kill me. Which, as it stands, is not appearing to be the case. Yeah, so we spin the breach again. But I'm not sure what I could find that's ever, like, ideal. Opponent goes on a 15 as well. I believe breach is the only thing that matters. I could actually get Shieldred reanimate final parting. And draw a bajillion. Okay, that's probably the most reliable thing to do. So let's do that. This feels like the most reliable. Because I don't die that way, so... Dark Ritual's already been played. Chrome Locks. Probably already in the graveyard, actually. It was a mistake, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Okay. Pass. I see no instance, so... Oh, Chromox was the next card! It was the next card. Wow. Alright. At this point, we're just trying to storm off. Okay, I'll just do this again. Two or three more times, so we can do it 3 more times. The One Ring is fine. I think I can stop here. So I will. Okay. Don't care. Opponent goes to 7. Goes to 8. Goes to 8. Although killing Tasha might might make sense. Did I find Lightning Bolt? I found no castable card. Alright, so... I think I should kill Tasha. Alright, so... Do we have claim the spaghetti noodles? Could have drawn until I found it, but I didn't. We do have claim the spaghetti noodles, so we can do this. Draw 7, discount my entire universe by 7. Very unlikely to get punished by that. We have to win this turn, I think. Very likely, at least. So, claim the spaghetti. Once I find it. 7. Can play really any land. It doesn't really matter. I guess that one. Brass's Bounty. This is the most... Alright, yeah, I think we just did it. I think we did it. Excellent. That was excellent. So let's just start casting cards until we have enough to kill our opponent with tendrils. Wow, look at that. Awesome. Really, really awesome. I believe there is no way on earth I messed this up. Final last words, but... Final words. Excellent. Really nice. Oh, this generates so much mana too. It does. It does. Okay, let's go to post-combat just to get more mana. Push a bunch of damage too. Whatever, 7... They have a Tasha plus, but that doesn't matter. Now we have 20 mana. Sure. They proliferate the counters. Yep, yep, okay. Huge, big, and true. Hit him for 7. Gain some life. Cast anything we want. So, here. Tendrils is at 8. It is lethal. I saw my opponent's hand. There is no way they can do anything about it. But I'm going to play with my food a little bit. I want to see if Breach the Multiverse has anything spicy. You know? Alright. Oh, opponent! Alright, it's not the Loxodon, it's the elephant. We're up against the elephant in the room. But it's green, so. Do I Dark Ritual? Probably. That's why we run it. Okay, that makes things fine. Okay. What are you doing? Okay, well, I mean, yep. Why would you besage you my Menadork into a land? That doesn't make sense. Chat makes no sense. Alright, so here we can play our commander. If it dies, so be it. If it doesn't, we don't necessarily win. Could have Dark Ritualed this. This nets mana if I don't do that. Alright, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that Besage, but that doesn't really add up to me. Alright, so we're at 1. We can bolt ourselves. This might be the first time I lightning bolt myself, and I think I do. So, like we said, 4 is the best discount. Breakpoint. Let's do this. Let's get rid of that. A little too late. Treacherous Blessing. Whenever you cast a spell, is there any reason to wait? Suppose there is. I could sack my commander, and I think I should. I think I'm confident enough here where I can find lethal without, like, passing the turn. Probably a good idea. Alright, so 3 mana left. Brass's Bounty. And probably we're going for the Tendrils. Probably. So Brass's Bounty. It nets us mana. Could have cast Dark Ritual first. I don't think it matters. Cast Dark Ritual. This counts for us. I don't have to count out loud. This thing. Big and true. Let's get rid of this thing. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. Let's cast that. No, 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 no. Oh, I did the sideboard, chat. I'm sorry. I did the sideboard. No big deal. No big deal. Everything's fine. Do that. Yes! I wonder what chrome boxing and not using the mana means. I wonder what that means. I could cast Rowan, but I could also just cast Faithless Looting first, I think. Okay. They have a spell that's castable, so I'll just force a counterspell instead of some kind of other thing that I'd rather not see, so... Apparently I literally can't even stop that if I wanted to, because why would I, right? Could have played Cavern, I guess. Was Cavern in my hand the whole time? Am I just dumb? Apparently I'm dumb. Interesting. Apparently I'm just stupid. Chat, I am dumb. I did not see that. Do I feed the swarm? Yep. Perfect 6-drop. No way. Yeah, I didn't see Cavern. Hardly seems like a good Oko activation, but okay. Don't really get that. I don't think there's any reason in attacking. Oop. So lose 1, 2, 3, all of it? Let's not mana confluence down to 1. Okay, so there's basically no way I lose now. I can't use Bolus's Citadel. Oh hey, it's Time Warp. That's cool. Can't use it really, because I'll just sort of lose the game if I get to my extra turn anyways, because of the thing in play. Alright, look at that. Look at that, chat. We got there. Look at that. Ooh. Missing the Cavernous Souls, I thought was lights out. So, I didn't play this the most optimally every single game. Opponents did not appreciate the fear factor of what happens if I get to untap with Ronus. There is a huge downside of if you don't untap with Ronus, or I keep calling it Ronus, Rowan, you're kind of screwed. So if your opponents are fully aware that Rowan has a pretty high chance of winning the game after you cast it, then this commander's not great. And the more people that play it, the more it's on more people's radars, the more they accept that killing Rowan is a very good idea. And I don't think that's new. I think if Rowan was the way it was before, without a storm package, it was still very scary to let your opponent untap with it. Don't you wish you were gaining life in playing blue and white cards instead of losing life in playing black and red cards? Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I think the threat of Rowan relative to the blue-white version of Rowan is you gain life and it discounts spells by life gain. You have to find a way to gain life, like not reprieve, whatever that. Reprobate? No. Revitalize, the 2 mana gain 3 draw card. Like, gaining life is a very low power strategy unless you're really doing something with gaining life. So if you want like this instead of the other one, I think this is vastly superior. I don't think it's even close unless you compare the like mana drain, counterspell, wash away, get lost, Mana Tithe, Reprobate, Swords, Plowshares. Like, you have really good blue and white cards, but they do not care about your commander, and you're better off just playing an actual blue-white. The best things you're doing in the life gain side of this strategy is the things I don't care about getting life. This, however, opens up the floodgates of a lot of options that you don't see normally. And you can genuinely storm off with this. It felt like every time I untapped with my commander, there was a possibility to win. I was rather surprised by this. I didn't think it was that close to almost always winning when you untap with Rowan. But it felt like it was almost always winning when I untapped with Rowan. Very, very surprising. There's the alternate win conditions in this, pseudo-alternate win conditions, like reanimating Gristlebrand. There's no Tooth and Nail, so you can't get Gristlebrand and Shieldred with a single card, unless you have... No, even a massive discount of 4 or 5, mostly just 4. That was another thing. I only needed to discount my entire deck by 4. So when I came to that conclusion, it made things a little bit more obvious of what I needed to do. There's one card, I believe it's just this one. Oh, there is Brass's Bounty too. It's always a mana positive, though, even if you have a discount of 4. So even if it costs, what is that, 2 mana, 3 mana? Still mana positive, it's still fine. I actually really liked this card. I didn't get to cast it too many times, though, to be honest with you. I will say the black Thoughtseize was still busted. I just didn't own it. But if you own this thing, it should be in your deck. There's plenty of times where finding this would have been nice. It is rather difficult to discount it all the way down to 1 mana, but not necessarily the most crucial thing. If you do this on turn 4, right, which is kind of where you really want to go crazy. Sometimes you can go later, but let's say it's turn 5, it's whatever. But turn 4, this isn't breaking the game in half. Stealing your opponent's 5th or even 4th turn is not crazy, right? An Emrakul, the Promise End, super early is not that scary because your opponent doesn't have a lot of mana. You can't devastate them too bad, but still probably worth playing that card. I just didn't own it. The MDFC lands that make you lose 3 life basically solo your entire attempt at going to 4 on a discount, and even a 3 in a discount was perfectly reasonable. Honestly, even a 2 discount was perfectly reasonable for trying to storm off. So Rowan did not need a lot of help to storm off. There was an equipment in here that, like, you know, you can pay 3 life to equip, and you could just spam it. You know, there's really only an argument to equipping twice with that. There's no reason to go super low. You can't discount colorless spells. That's why there's no Eldrazi. Yeah, I think this is really, really good. There is a learning curve to it, which it does lose some points. I would almost call this a 10. Okay, so it would be a 10 out of 10 commander for me if it wasn't for the fact that if it dies, it almost turns into like a 3 or 4 out of 10 when Rowan just dies. And Rowan dies a lot, so that takes a huge hit on what's possible here. Protection spells don't save you unless you have extra mana, right? If you have one of the mocks to play it the same turn you play this, and also have a 1 mana protection spell, and also have that matter against whatever you're playing against, right? If you're playing against mono green, none of this really matters, but there's other things that matter that make mono green a nightmare to play against. But let's say you're playing against something that doesn't have a lot of interaction, then all of this setup feels kind of stupid. So it's only in certain matchups, although the certain matchups are still about 80% of your matchups, because everyone is rather prepared for a turn 3 commander that is not racing into play on turn 2, just like the teamer ones are with mana dorks, and then, you know, go crazy there or whatever. We're not reliably playing this on turn 2. You can if you play like Strike It Rich, the other treasure 1/1 creature. We were playing Ragavan, which, as I've come to assess time and time again, Ragavan is not nearly as scary as it used to be. There are some ways to get this into play turn 2, but not a consistent way of getting into play turn 2. So it's really a turn 3 commander. And this format is not super friendly to play a turn 3 commander with 2 toughness, pass the turn, try to untap with it. A commander that does nothing probably can never cost more than 3. So if you play, I don't know, anything that costs more than 4 or more than 3 that doesn't do anything instantly is, I'm not going to call it unplayable, but that's like -4 to your 10 out of 10 score alone. Right? Maybe Pock is an exception because it doesn't care if it dies and doesn't duplicate. You can just continue to play the game. Davriel is not really like that, right? So there's a huge difference between those two. Rowan, if it did cost 4, is basically unplayable. So it kind of needs to cost 3, and it does. So it's on the threshold. But it took a huge hit because it dies a lot. But if you're alright with that, you either concede those games or try to fist fight through them. It's a pretty good commander. The learning curve is another massive hit to the rating of this commander, because if you're not familiar of what to do once you untap with Rowan to try to win the game immediately, it's gonna feel really bad when you finally get to that point and not find a line to win. So if you have a way to play Magic outside of Arena, like Cockatrice, that's what I would do to play in practice cards, to see, you know, what's possible. I would recommend that, but if you're not trying to do that, and you just want to play a Magic and not think too hard, this can't really be something I can recommend, because storming off with a singleton 100 card deck is not very easy, especially when it's not green and blue. Pretty hard. But not as hard as you would think, right? You can start counting your spells and then just find tendrils with one of your tutors and probably get there. And it felt like once I started to figure out the lines, it got easier and easier. And it didn't take much time, but it did take some kind of investment to get to that point. But it didn't take that long to start to feel comfortable with the storm turn to actually win the game. Or when to pivot off of it because you don't think it's going to happen, and then find something like Final Parting to reanimate Grizzlebrand, and then just see if you can do stuff the next turn, and stuff like that. But expect a lot of interaction. I don't think that's anything new, but I would expect it. Matchups where there's not a lot of interaction, you can play more loose and just try to race towards your commander and blitz into nonsense. The Banefire kind of cards, it was like Torment, Crackle, and Banefire, and there was another one I can't remember. But those didn't really do anything. It never felt like in any game ever I was able to kill someone with a Banefire, let's say, even if they're at 15. I'm probably not killing people with an X spell, so I ended up taking those out. I think those are particularly good. I was looking at EDH Rec. I was not looking at Historic Brawl commanders, but EDH Rec shows all cards on paper. Your paper cards let you discount 20 or higher extremely consistently. You cannot do that extremely consistently on Magic Arena. The cards aren't really there for you. You do have like Necropotence and just pay infinite life. There is that red equipment, pay a bunch of life, but all of that life paying just for an X spell is not super reliable to me. But if you think you can go about doing that, then I guess go for it, right? You have a bunch of tutors, so you can tutor up those combo pieces and go for it. But if you want to cast the tutors without discounting the tutors first, then you cannot then tutor for Necropotence or the red equipment to discount all the way to a bajillion, unless you have something like Claim the Firstborn to untap this again, but that's even more mana, and how much mana do you have untapped after all of this without treasure tokens? So it doesn't make sense to me to go for giant X spells. At first it did, but now, after playing it, it doesn't. Tendrils of Agony was really the MVP of your Storm thing, and I don't think it makes sense to play X spells. That is something to take note of, right? Those, I think, are genuinely a trap on Magic Arena. I don't think you can play those. Grenzo, in every deck I've played it in since it's been nerfed, which is rather recently, not the past like year or 6 months, whenever it got nerfed or so. But Grenzo is very scary, especially in a deck like this. There's plenty of cards I can actually cast, even if they're not black and red, by the time I get to Grenzoing with just no discount. And if your opponent is black and red, you have a chance of actually discounting something that Rowan lets you steal and then cast for super cheap. I would say that's probably not super reliable, and if that is what you're relying on, then, well, you're probably not winning with a Storm package or anything. So, But I'm a huge fan of this. It's extremely unique to try to actually storm off. The only downside to the storm strategy is Rowan dying. And it died a lot. But if you're alright with that and you want to move on to games as they continue in which it does not die, you know, it's pretty good. In games where it doesn't die. But if you don't want to like continue playing this after it died 3 games in a row, I can't recommend it. So it's kind of up to the individual. It is really fun, though. It's sitting there thinking about what you can do, and, you know, can I do it before I rope out and all that jazz and try to find a combo. But it's cool to play a spell slingy style thing and have it not be blue-red with prowess or whatever. So it was fun to play. But let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.